Wow, that was nice. Thank you, Ted. It's like Ted's bar mitzvah, isn't it? I mean, seriously. I heard his wife is here, his kids are here, family members are here. So it's like his bar mitzvah event. This is what happens when you only have 40 days left. So I can, well, let me just congratulate all of you for selecting Ted Deutsch. Really, whoever came up with the idea, whoever convinced him to do it, whoever decided to get a guy who is a leader in the Congress to give up his seat, to come here, to represent the Jews, to do this, to do it. He's an innovator, he's a leader, and he's actually a very, very good guy. So congratulations to all of you. I will say, though, however, just a moment of honesty, I was trying to get out of this, actually, because I had tickets to the French Open, seriously. For this weekend. I haven't gone anywhere in this job, okay? I've gone here, I went to see my family and back home, and that's one thing I've done. It's like someone called me and said, hey, do you want to go to the French Open? I said, sure. So I'm like, and I look at my schedule, oh my God, I got to do this thing at the AJC. So I said, fine. So I called Ted. I called Ted like 3 weeks ago, hey, Ted, can I get out of this? He goes, no, absolutely not. This is too important. You've got to do it. I go, come on, Ted. He goes, no, you got to go. And I said, okay, fine. So then, about 3 days ago, I looked at my briefing material, and I realized he gave me 4 minutes to speak. So I'm, true, I'm not, and I've already just eaten a minute of it. So let me just be very quick about what I'm going to say. When the president, when I was honored by President Biden to giving me this job, he said to me, you have only really one goal. We have an unbreakable tie between Israel and the United States, and please do not break it. And since I only have 40 days left, I'll attempt to try to make sure that didn't happen. The remarkable thing about the AJC and what's going on is that it's remarkable the priorities of this administration and the AJC, I think, are linked. It's not perfect because we all have different views. It wouldn't be a group of 1,500 Jews without actually different views. But I think on the principal things, I think we all clearly understand, which has been what my agenda has been here for the 2 years that I've been here. Number one, as Ted mentioned, security. Security is the single most important issue that we all work on collectively. And since I've been here, obviously, the security issue in Iran in particular is certainly the single biggest threat to the security of the state of Israel. And I think this administration and the state of Israel, and I think you'll hear from different leaders, will say that we're working collectively to make sure, as Joe Biden said, to never allow the Iranians to obtain a nuclear weapon. But it's not just, obviously, the Iranian threat. We know what goes on with Hezbollah, what goes on Hamas, which goes on around the region. As many of you know, 4 weeks ago I was here, and Hamas shot, actually the PIJ, which is so bad. PIJ is so bad, even Hamas doesn't want to hang around with them. But they shot 840 rockets in the state of Israel. No country anywhere in the world would tolerate something like that. And we should all understand that the United States supports the view and the importance of Israel not only taking care of themselves, but the security of the state of Israel is utmost in the minds of the United States and the people in this audience. So we have to focus collectively on the security issues that face Israel. Number two, the Abraham Accords. Again, the Abraham Accords, as you may have heard, were actually started by a different administration. That's okay. Because the reality is the Trump administration and my predecessor, David Friedman, and Jared Kushner, the people who did the Abraham Accords, was probably one of the most significant foreign policy achievements in the Middle East in a very, very long time. Since I have been here, I've spent an enormous amount of time with the Emiratis, the Bahrainians, the Moroccans, building on the Abraham Accords and making sure that this administration builds upon the successes of the previous administration as the importance of these accords, the security of the State of Israel. And obviously, let us not forget the importance of Egypt and Jordan, because a combination of these 5 countries creates a more secure State of Israel. So that the administration, that the previous administration did a good job of starting it. We are building upon it every day. And wouldn't it be grand? Wouldn't it be grand that we wake up one day and there's a normalization between Saudi Arabia and the State of Israel? And I think, as you've heard from the President and the Secretary of State and many of the government officials, we're going to work towards hopefully getting a goal to achieve that. It's not easy, it's not simple, but I believe it's in the best interest of the United States and the best interest of the State of Israel and the best interest of the Middle East to get that deal done. Number 3, since I've been here, I've spent an enormous amount of time on the Palestinian issue. I am obviously aware that in the next 40 days I probably will not get the Nobel Peace Prize, but in the light of that, we cannot lose the vision of a two-state solution. We cannot lose the sight of a two-state solution. And I know it's become a dream for some and a vision of others, but we have to fundamentally understand the importance of that, the Jews and the Palestinians and the Arabs living side by side, because ultimately that is the only solution for a long-time peace in the region. I have spent a lot of time on the issues beyond just the idea of a two-state solution, is actually helping the Palestinian people. Listen, I'm the American ambassador to Israel, not the American ambassador to the West Bank and Gaza, but I fundamentally believe that most Palestinians living in the West Bank want the same thing as most Jews living in Greenland, Israel. They want security, they want an opportunity, they want health care, they want to have a future. And that is what I've been trying to spend my time on, because again, I think it makes Israel a more secure, democratic Jewish state. Lastly, democracy. I think it's not lost upon anyone that Israel is going through an unusual period of its history. People have called me from all over the world and said, "What's going on in Israel? Is democracy ending in Israel?" I said, "What are you talking about? Listen to what's going on here. For the last 26 weeks, between 150 and 300,000 people, regardless what side of the issue you're on, are showing up every Saturday. That, my friends, would be the equivalent of 6 or 7 million Americans showing up at the mall every Saturday. And guess what? Guess what? There's been virtually no one arrested. There's been no property damage. The reality of this is democracy is alive and well in Israel. And we should all appreciate that. So on my closing, because I'm now 30 seconds over my allotted time, I want to say, as a little Jewish kid, the youngest of 8 kids, to be able to come here as a liberal, secular Jew, okay, to come here and to be the American ambassador of Israel is the greatest honor of my lifetime. Thank you all very much.